Well, all right, here we go. Another one like the other one. Historical models that prove abundance is possible. They've been selling us a story that this chaos, this inequality is the price to pay for a complex world. That some must have crumbs so that others can have palaces. That the only choice is which master to serve. But what if that story is a lie? A centuries old lie designed to make us compliant. What if the blueprint for a society of a true abundance, where no one is hungry, no one is homeless, and your labor actually builds a future for your community, aren't just theoretical? What if they're buried in our history, waiting for us to remember? Let us talk about proof, not theories, operating systems, societies that organized around a simple principle: the well being of the community is the highest law. First one, there's the medieval monastery, ora et labora, Latin for pray and work. This wasn't a slogan, it was an engine. These communities were self sufficient. They grew their own food, brewed their own medicine, copied their own books. The surplus wasn't for a CEO, it was for security against famine. Their profit was stability and time for study and contemplation. It was a system designed for resilience, not extraction. Then we have the Inca Empire, Mita and Culca. Imagine a system where your labor tax filled massive state storehouses in the mountains. Now imagine that in a drought or a famine, those storehouses were open to everyone. This wasn't hope, it was a guarantee. The state's divine duty was to ensure no one starved. Your work was your social security. This was one of the largest empires in the world, and it engineered scarcity out of existence. Then you have the Calpulli of the Anáhuac. Before the colonization, land was communally owned. The harvest from the communal fields supported the entire community: the farmers, the artisans, the teachers, the elders. It was a system of mutual obligation. Your success was tied to the success of everyone around you. It was practical spirituality. Then we have the early Islamic welfare, Beit al-Mal. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The treasury had a clear mandate: take care of the people, starting with the poorest and the most vulnerable. Then, and only then, build the state. The health of the citizen was the primary metric of success. Wealth was a tool for circulation, not accumulation. Then we have the Jewish kibbutz movement in the early 20th century. While secular in many ways, the early kibbutzim were built on a deeply communal, almost religious fervor of building a new society. They are a fantastic modern analog. The model? A purely communal settlement. All property was owned collectively. Meals were eaten in a common dining hall. Children were often raised in group homes to free parents for labor. Abundance for all. The system was designed to ensure that everyone's basic needs were met: food, shelter, healthcare, education, regardless of the specific job they did. This security was foundation of the community. From each according to his ability. Labor was organized and assigned by a central committee. The goal was not profit, but the prosperity and security of the kibbutz itself. This allowed members to engage in cultural, political, and artistic pursuits with their free time. Now, these systems were not perfect. They were not utopias, but they proved one thing irrefutably: human beings are capable of organizing society around provision instead of profit. The blueprint for abundance is not a fantasy, it's a historical fact. So, what happened? How did we go from the systems designed for abundance to systems designed for hoarding? Well, the blueprint was stolen, the code was corrupted. The church forgot the labora and kept the ora, monetizing the prayer while abandoning the practical care. Imagine if every dollar given on Sunday stayed in the community to fund a garden, a repair cooperative, a network of clean, dignified housing. Instead, it often flows upward to distant palaces of marble and gold. The state forgot its duty as a steward of the commons, and became the armed guard for private property. Imagine if our taxes, the collective labor of millions, built self-sufficient eco-villages instead of bombers. We have the technology for vertical farms, solar grids, and 3D printed homes. We have the resources. The only thing we lack is the intention. The virus of greed inserted a new command. Take as much as you can and guard it with violence. The solution isn't to go backwards. It's to update the operating system. We take the proven human scale models from history and we equip them with 21st century tools. Number 1. Decentralize. The answer isn't a bigger, more centralized government. It's smaller, smarter, hyper-local communities, digital era Calpullis, neighborhoods that can feed and power themselves, redefine wealth. Our real currency isn't digital numbers in a bank. It's our labor, our time, our skills, our care. Systems of mutual credit and time banking already exist. We can build economies where value is measured by what you contribute to the well-being of all. Demand radical transparency. Every resource, every dollar, every hour of labor must be accountable to the community. Blockchain-like ledgers, open source budgeting, no more hidden flows of wealth. Engineer abundance. We must architect a society where a dignified life is the baseline. A home, nutritious food, clean water, healthcare. This is not a radical demand. It is the absolute minimum requirement for a functioning society. With automation and AI, the mindless toil can be automated. The mindless toil is what they used to keep us tired and compliant. Now we can be free to create, to govern ourselves, to connect. This isn't about left or right. It's about forward. It's post-greed. It's recognizing that a system that allows billionaires to exist while children starve is not just immoral, it's archaic, it's inefficient, it's flat out stupid. The next time you put money on a collection plate, ask, does this build a storehouse for my community or a palace for a stranger? The next time you pay your taxes, demand, build our colleges, not armies. But we cannot just ask, we must build. We have to stop asking for permission to build a better world and start building it in the gaps of the old one. Organize your apartment building, your street, your online community. Start a tool library, a food sharing network, a local assembly. Use the models, share the abundance, strip the power from the exploiters, not by fighting them, but by making them irrelevant. We have the historical proof. We have the technology. The only question left is, do we have the courage to let go of the greed they taught us to call ambition? The choice is ours. Let's choose abundance.